Hi, my name is Alison John Wani Farajala. This assignment relates to assignment number 4 for the project management course. Um, Before I proceed, I would like to acknowledge the owners and the custodians of the land that we're living in, and I would like to pay my respect to the elders past and present. The purpose of this video is to demonstrate the strategy that I put in place to assist with the building of five homes in 5 homelands in Northern Aboriginal land. Throughout the presentation, I will talk about the introduction, brief information about the Jack Thompson Foundation and what they have done over the past few years, and I will then talk about the competencies and the skills that I've identified through my research. And also I will talk about the stakeholder engagement strategy, how we're actually going to engage the local community to be involved in the process, to be involved in the project delivery. I will talk about the sustainable transformation of this project, and also I will talk about the ethical dimensions that we need to be mindful of while delivering this project. And also I will talk about the logistics and the risk and assumption that I've documented that we will need to pay attention to as we progress with the project. And then I will briefly talk about the reflection and the next steps that we need to take. As an introduction, Jack Thompson Foundation have delivered a number of projects over the past few years, since 2008 into 2014, and the aim of this of my research is to actually examine what skills and what competencies already exist in the local community, and identify what are the other competencies that we need to either uplift, or we need to either introduce to the local communities to help carry out the delivery of this project. So the purpose of this project is to identify the skills and the competencies that currently need to be introduced to the local community for them to commence the building of the housing, and also to build 5 bedsides homes in 5 homelands that can accommodate the elders that doesn't have family, and also to propose and design a solution that's culturally appropriate and aligned with the culture and beliefs and the behavior and the emotions of Aboriginal people in the northern land, and to build trust and empathy throughout the development or the execution of the project. This document is subjected to change. This is a work in progress document. As we get more information, or as we commence the consultation, we will improve, or we will amend, or we change this document as we progress. The skills that I've identified through my research are categorized into 2. The first step is human skills that I believed that are very critical in delivery of this project. Skill number 1 is leadership skill. I think we need to identify a group of individuals within the local community that need to be trained on leadership. Leadership encompasses lots of skill within. We need to train people to take ownership or to take leadership of future projects. We wanted to teach, or we wanted to train local communities to oversee the end-to-end delivery of the project and to coordinate some pieces of the project. So leadership is one of the skills that I identified that need to be trained to the people of the community. Communication is another critical skills in delivering this project. Given that we have number of skill set that's already been developed by Jack Thompson Foundation previous projects, we need to be able to communicate, and also given we're building those homelands in different homelands, and the distance between each homeland is considerably large, we would like to, communication is a very crucial skill that we need to train individuals on how to communicate effectively, how to convey a message from each homelands to another, and how to write a simple report to Jack Thompson Foundation, or how to communicate with engineers and how to communicate with the architects or the volunteers. So this is one of the critical skills that I identified need to be trained. And also problem solving skills. Literature argued that there are some steps to identifying to actually problem solving skills. We just don't want to teach this or train the local Aboriginal people to solve problems, but also we want them to actually define their own problems. And when they define their own problems, they will be able to identify what are the causes of their problem. So when they understand what are the causes of their problem, they will be able to generate ideas on how to best solve those problems, and potentially they will develop solution that fits fits the purpose, or fits the problem or the root cause of the problem. Finally, collaboration and teamwork. So the group of this, every group of 2 or 3 will be trained on those skills, but we need those groups to collaborate. We need those groups to work together. So we need people who have leadership skills, people who have communication skills, people who have problem solving skills, to work together to ensure the success delivery of this project. As much as these human or soft skills are very critical, also technical skills to manage projects is very critical. So this project will see the train and mentoring of and coaching of people on planning and organizational skills. For this project to be successful, we need to identify a group of people that need to be taught planning and organizing skill. We need to plan, we need to understand the schedule, we need to understand who's available and when can we start on what plan. So planning and organizing skill is very critical technical skill that we need to train at the local Aboriginal people. Risk management. Risk occur everywhere in every line of work that we do today. We would like to identify a group of individuals that we can train on how to identify risk, on how to assess risk, and how to propose a mitigation to that risk. So this project will also see some individuals getting trained on how to assess and how to mitigate and how to identify risk. And then staffing management. This skill is very critical for the delivery of this project also, because we wanted to be able to understand what resources are available and what competencies need to be taught or trained. Again, we're delivering this project in 5 homelands. By understanding what resources we do have available, what local materials we do have available, it will help success delivery of this project. And finally, integration. Integration is very critical because it combines all of these pieces together. It combines the plan, it combines the risk, it combines the communication, it combines the resource or the staffing management. So these are the resources, or these are the skill sets that I've identified that I believed need to be transformed or need to be trained to the local communities of Aboriginal for them to be able to carry out this project. Not only the skills will help them to deliver the building of the 5 house building, but also this skill set will then will act as a framework. They will then deliver all other future projects that's coming their way. A stakeholder engagement strategy that I put together is also the first step is to identify who are the stakeholders, who are the critical people in the community, and that can happen in so many ways. We would like to have some meetings that everybody in one homeland need to be involved. We need to involve everybody. We need to set up some meetings that are convenient to people, understanding their culture, understanding what needs to be done. Through the first step of information sharing, we need to tell people of what we're going to be doing. We need people to engage. We need people to decide. We need their involvement, because once people are involved, that's where we get to understand what's so critical to be developed. And then step number 2 is consultation. we wanted to consult people. We wanted people to tell us what are the critical areas, which homeland requires the building of the housing more than another homeland. So through this, we will be able to prioritize. Through this, we'll be able to understand which homeland we should start building first. And again, we have to have a decision making, because the success of this project will come from the local leaders giving us, or giving the Jack Thompson Foundation project community, an approval to secret sites. So we wanted the local community leaders to be involved as part of the decision making. We want them to be involved. We want them to influence the development of this project. And the last step is to go through action. So after identifying those stakeholders, share the information with them, consult them as to what homeland need to be built, how they want it to be built, and then get their approval to the sacred sites. Then we commence the building of the initiative. The benefits of this phase, or the benefits of this strategy, we will understand what skill sets available and what skill set need to be developed. We will also understand what are the delivery timelines like. We will build some trust with the local community of Aboriginal, and then we will gain some approval. So these are the benefits of going through this strategy. I will talk about how we're going to sustain this, or how this strategy is going to provide sustainability. I will talk about capacity building, and this is the approach that I've identified that will see the sustainability of this project. And capacity building is a community development approach, where we recognize the people in the community who already have the abilities to do the work, and then we identify the people who knows how to solve their own problems, and people who can identify the barriers to the problem, and then we work with these people to look at what other skill set that need to be developed. So capacity building is one of the approach that we will establish, and that approach will ensure the sustainability of the project. The second approach is a human-centered design. Human-centered design is an approach to creating solutions for problems and opportunities through focusing on the people. Human-centered design encompasses skills as communication, problem solving, creativity, and collaboration. Through human-centered design, we will ensure that we put together a framework that the people can follow. Human-centered design focuses in three dimensions, or three areas. Area number one in inspiration phase. Inspiration phase is the phase where we actually understand the people, understand their culture, understand their needs, and then learning about their ways and learning about how they look at things, from almost putting people in the center of our thinking, in the center of our design. Once we understand, so through the inspiration phase or the consultation phase, we will understand what are the capacities that's already there, what are the capabilities that are there, what are the strengths that is already available. We'll be able to map the stakeholders. We'll be able to understand the relationship between people in the community. Once we move from inspiration phase, we move to the ideation phase. We will then sit down with people after getting all this, after fully understand the people. We will sit down with people and see, and come up with some ideas that how can this building progress to the next step smoothly. And then through ideation phase, we will have a lot of ideas, but we will have some solution. We will get people involved, the local community will get people involved as part of our process. And then the third bit is implementation. So once we understand and learned about the community, learned about the challenges that the community is facing, and then sit with the community, put and propose some ideas, propose some solution that's fit for purpose, get people to be part of the decision making, even the site selection, which homeland, which site we should build first, which site we should build next. And then moving to the implementation is partnership with the local community, working together with the local communities and to commence the building, and after commence the building we provide the feedback. So the way I see fit, the way we're going to continue with the building of the 5 homelands is built in. We're going to adopt an iterative approach where we build one housing, get the elders to provide us with feedback, and see how did we go, how's the doors, the windows. Once we obtain feedback from the local community, and then we build house number 2, and then we build house number 3. That way we get people involved in the process and they understand what we do. So training these people through the process of inspiration and ideation and implementation, this is going to be a framework that's going to provide sustainability. So while we're doing so, we're actually training those people that we have selected, or we're training those skills, and the local people will be able to inherit this framework for future project delivery. The benefits of this approach, capacity building in human-centered design, the benefit will be we'll be able to have a sustainability. So this framework can be reused as we progress. There will be knowledge sharing, where working together with the people when we share knowledge, it will be a reusable framework, a reusable process. So we use one of this process, we inspire, we ideate, we implement for one house, and we do it for another house, So and the most important benefit is we're going to design a solution that's fit for purpose. Ethical dimension of this project is, so the literature argued, or the literature suggested, that when designing an experience for people, or designing a framework within which we're trying to allow people to create a solution to their own problem, there is always an ethical dimension. To ensure that this project deliver the house building in a way that we respect, or in an ethical way, we will inherit, or we will adopt the Jack Thompson Foundation ways. So the Jack Thompson Foundation way is a rule or sets of protocols that we have to abide by throughout the engagement with the people, throughout the consultation, throughout the delivery of this project. And the Jack Thompson Foundation way, or the concept, is sets of cultural values and within the project community. So it's living and learning together, respecting one another, respecting elders, individual respect. Our knowledge have to be relevant. So these are the ethical dimension that we're going to respect and deliver this project based on that. Another thing is the benefit of this to project management professional in Australia is the traditional role of project management is to deliver a product and service to people, but here we're looking at understanding the culture of people, understanding the ethics. So it's not only what we're not doing is we're not only delivering a project, but we're delivering project within ethical dimension, respecting the people way of thinking, respecting people's belief. So the benefit to the project management in Australia is that we can still deliver a project, or we can still deliver a value to people while acting in ethical way, while delivering value with ethics. This is one, and two is we discover our common humanity. So this is delivering a project not only to the local people, but learning more about new ways of delivering. So these are the benefits of this project to the project management in Australia. The proposed improvement that I've put together for this one is the cultural awareness of the people we're delivering the projects to. So this project is building a house, but we are culturally aware of the people that we're delivering the service to. So this is another benefit of this project to the project management profession in Australia. The application of human-centered design. We're not only building